What does drip mean? Drip is a slang term that refers to a person's sense of style that is considered sexy or cool. It is a variation of swag and was made popular by hip-hop culture. Drip gained mainstream popularity in 2018 as its use in hip-hop rap songs spread to listeners who adopted the term as a way to describe a person, often a guy's impressive appearance. Typically the term refers to fashion, like clothes and shoes, but it may refer to how one carries himself. It is commonly used online, especially in social sites like Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Example: this beast has some drip. Drip holds an important footing in today's society. That is why I am going to hold an in-depth investigation into the world of drip by ranking all of the Dark Souls 3 bosses in order of drip. Aldrich the Devourer of Gods. You might be thinking, why is Aldrich so low on the list? Well, guilty of stealing someone else's drip, that's why. Yeah, you might look at it first think, that's quite a heavy dripping Dark Souls boss, but it's not right. You don't steal someone else's drip. He doesn't rock the drip quite as well as Gwendolyn. And he is, after all, a disgusting blob of slime. Also, let's not even talk about what happens when you take his hat off. Looking at the old Demon King, there is literally zero drip to be found here. The first thing I think this guy needs to do is maybe take a trip down to the barbers and get that weave sorted out, and maybe that beard, because, man, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is the tree look is mad 2008. You need to really get with the times and maybe put some shoes on. It won't hurt. Ew! Ew! No! Put it back! Ah! So ugly. Please, no! Ah! Cool stick though. Kinda need to shave them legs though, bro. Alright, I know what you're thinking. This guy is just as disgusting as the last guy. How is he this high up in the list? Well, he would have been lower, but, I mean, he's got a cool third arm in the middle of his stomach. That's mad dripping. Are those Gucci curse balls all over his body? Damn. Finally, a human type character. Oh, it's Eudix. Man. Did your mother pick out that armor? Just nah, forget it. It's a bit, you know, lame after all. Also, what is all this goth black gooey demon shit about, man? You want to leave that in the past. Alright, so I'm gonna state the obvious. We got a really cool hat here. It's undeniable. That hat is drip, and it's a pretty decent chain that Crystal Sage is rocking there. I really do appreciate the craftsmanship of that piece, but the old rags are really lacking. They need to get updated, and I can't help but think maybe we could just wrap up the outfit with some sunglasses, because man, those gaping voids into your soul, they're just not doing it for me. Alright, admittedly at first I didn't really think much of my boy Yorm. Looking at him, I'm thinking, he's not really dripping that well. He's got a bit of a weird skin texture going on there. Don't know how I feel about that. But then I noticed that thing on his head. This man's got that spiky ass crown. He's going for that straight up Jesus Christ look. Damn, that is really going out there and making a fashion statement. So I can't help but say my boy Yorm is dripping. Look, I know what you're thinking. How did Eudix climb 3 places just by changing his name? Well, let me tell you, confidence goes a long way. Look at how this guy carries himself now. Look at that stance. I don't care if his mother picked out that armor. This guy's got drip. To the untrained eye, Soul of Cinder might look like he's dripping heavy, but I know he ain't just one guy. He's a mixture, he's a combination. He's got many sources of drip coming in from all them Lords of Cinder before him. This guy, he's a phony, he's a fraud, but he does look kinda good though. It's unbelievable really, how a guy can be so handsome and doesn't even need any drip. Look how well maintained this guy is. You can tell this guy gets manicures and pedicures. He gets pampered every day of the week. Keeps himself nice for the female. Look at his smile. This guy's smile is worth $1 million. He is absolutely gorgeous. As far as ancient wyverns go, the video game industry doesn't really have a history of, well, good looking ancient wyverns, so yeah, this guy takes the cake. Not a whole lot I really need to say here other than this absolute unit's drip is so heavy that he can barely stand up straight. That must mean something. We're getting to the point where everyone is dripping now. Dancer, she rocks up to battle wearing a veil and custom, bespoke, gold trimmed armour. Absolutely flawless. What an outfit. Damn. I'll see you in the Fashion Week's Dancer. Who has 2 thumbs, no name, and drips insanely hard. It's the Nameless King. Look at this man. Okay, first things first, we have an expert in weaveology here because that hairdo, damn, he's taking it away. There's no need to go that hard with the hair. Maybe this guy could give some tips to the old Demon King. Next thing, is that a golden spear? Who needs a golden spear? While we're on the topic of gold, Dancer had gold trimmed armour. This man's rocked up with pure gold armour. Now if that's not a flex, I don't know what is. I know it might be. It's having a whole last dragon companion. This man goes unnecessarily hard. A lesser known fact about Abyss Watchers. You see that hat? That hat is actually 5 foot 6 inches tall. You know what else is 5 foot 6 inches tall? Me and Deck from Ant and Dec. If that ain't a fashion statement carrying that on top of your head, well, I don't know what is. But that's not all. Can we just touch upon how shiny this guy's armour is? Look, he's blinding me. I can't even look at it for too long. And is that a fire sword? This guy really thought he'd bring a fire sword. This guy brought a fire sword. Is that not going a bit over the top? No, it's not going over the top. And this guy has 2 weapons. Look at that little baby sword in his hand. Very cool. When it comes to dripping, Pontiff Sullivan is no amateur. First things first, having a name like Pontiff Sullivan alone boosts your drip ratio. He opts for the hood crown combo, which is a very audacious fashion statement which we have to appreciate. And he doesn't show his face, knowing that he doesn't need to show his face to drip harder than most. Then meanwhile, he's got the multicolour swords going on. He's got that fire sword we were talking about earlier, and what the fuck is this blue ultraviolet fucking purple ass looking sword? It needs no explanation. It's drip. And then, hang on, are those skeletal wings? Pontiff! Oh, you're flattering me. Not to mention the fact that this man drips so hard he can literally just duplicate himself. Here it is, the final frontier before the top 3 dripping Dark Souls bosses. We have Lothar, Younger Prince. Where do I begin with this guy? There's so much to look at. We have glistening. Is that white gold armor? Oh, you know this guy's a prince. We have glistening white gold armor. We have a headpiece to end all headpieces. My lord, look at this. Is that a good weave? Jesus, Lothar, chill out, man. Where would royalty be without a fire sword? Look at that damn fire sword. That is one mighty fire sword. I think that might be outweighing all of the fire swords we've seen so far. But there's one thing. There's an elephant in the room. We haven't addressed it. You know what it is. Just so happens to be Lorien, the young prince's brother. Now you might be thinking, what do I mean? I mean that Lothar literally uses his older brother as a fashion accessory. He's wearing him round his neck like a chain. He's got him on his back like a Gucci backpack. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. Number 3, Deacons of the Deep? Really? It's just a bunch of fat priests. How are Deacons of the Deep number 3? Look closer, my blinded son. Where have you ever seen so many solid gold 24 karat crosses in one place in your entire life? Let me tell you, you haven't. You can't even count this. How many Deacons of the Deep are there? How many Deacons of the Deep are there? After doing a Google search, I found out that there are 416 Deacons of the Deep. That means there are 416 solid gold crosses in this room. You think you're gonna find that much drip anywhere else? Okay, why aren't they number 1 then? Well, I guess the sole purpose of the boss isn't that they are dripping, so maybe they can be juggled around there, and I guess Archdeacon Royce isn't dripping that much, but there is a collective amount of wealth and drip in this group that just drives me insane. Not to mention, the trim on those outfits is kinda hot, and I mean, Royce got that nice hat though, and that's a kind of big stick, so my 3rd place choice, Deacons of the Deep. Weighing in at number 2, not quite first, is of course the Dragon Slayer armor. Come on man, you had to expect this to be ranked highly. The point of this battle is It's literally the Phantom Drip. We are coming up against the Phantom Drip right here. What is going to stop us from getting where we need to go? Oh, an almighty amount of drip. Come on, man, you have to admit, this thing looks good. First things first, look at that helmet. Look how avant-garde that is. You ever seen that before? Of course you haven't. Is that a weave? Does this armor have a good weave? How does this armor have a better weave than nearly everybody in this stupid game? Not to mention, we've seen all these fire swords, but is that a lightning axe? Is this man really pulling out a lightning axe? Man, that is going against the societal norms right there, my boy. And that big shield must take some lugging around. You know he's only doing that because he knows he looks so damn good with it. This guy feels like a homage to one of the heaviest drip as Ormstein from the first Dark Souls game. You know it's a homage. Or maybe it is him. I don't know. There's probably a theory out there. Not to mention that he's kind of controlled by butterflies, which is kind of cool. Can I get a drum roll, please? Weighing in at, well, a lot of pounds. At the first place on the drip list is none other than High Lord Walnier. This man's boss fight solely consists of smashing his drip up because his drip is merely too powerful for this planet. He is too strong for this world and his drip needs to be stopped. Look at those glowing bands. What's even making them glow? I don't know, do you know? That's why they need to be destroyed. Do you see anybody else in this list with glowing fucking drip? Of course you don't. Not to mention that crown. That crown is the size of my house. This man is a skeleton solely consisting of unbelievable amounts of drip. This man's drip could be sold. The money made from simply selling one of his bands could probably feed an entire country for 6 years. This man knows what's going on. Look at those rags. I was talking about Crystal Sage earlier saying, oh, those rags aren't cool, because he didn't rock them. Look at the way those rags are worn. They're hanging down, but I'm telling you, a designer clothing company could probably sell those rags for 10 grand each. He has chains for days. I'm telling you now, every rapper on the planet would do anything to be able to own one of those chains. He is a trendsetter, the original chain wearer. He's a life changer, and I would do anything to be in his presence, just for 1 second, hoping that a little bit of his drip may wear off on me and I could be something like him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he takes the #1 spot on today's list. Thanks for watching the video if you made it this far. I spend a lot of time putting these stupid videos together, so if you could please like and maybe subscribe if you enjoyed it, that does help the channel a lot and gives me the motivation I need to keep making these stupid videos. Aldrich the Devourer of Gods weighing in at 19th place, bottom of the... You must be fucking kidding me.